Welcome to the next episode of How to Build a Website. Today we are actually, right, I'm not in Denver, Nick's not in Michigan. We are in Breckenridge, Colorado doing the Pneuma Summit. If you follow us on Instagram, you've probably seen a little bit about it, and this will obviously be published after the fact, so you're going to see quite a bit about it. And really, we're just going to chat a bit on the Pneuma Summit, why we did it, why we're all here, why it's important. This isn't going to be a ton about websites or marketing or branding like we typically talk about. But right, I think the goal here is to give a little bit of a business insight as well. One of our core missions of the business, right, is if you interact with Pneuma Media, you just become a better business owner. You don't leave with a better website or a better SEO strategy. You are just a better version of your business after you talk with us. And I think a lot of companies now are doing remote work. We are a remote first agency, but there's definitely a strategy why we all came out here and got together for a few days. So with that, Nick, start us off with something good.
Yeah, and I think even more importantly, instead of, why we came out here, but what the hell we're doing in the first place with the Pneuma Summit, right? And we did a crazy thing, and a lot of guys that we really haven't met before, even though we've been on Slack channels, Google Meets, whatever, taking, 7 guys out here into the middle of Breckenridge, getting this insane home that we get to stay in, and we're blessed enough to be able to hang out in for 4 days. Really just like, what are we doing here? Like, why did we, not even the why, but what are we all doing together? What is our goal and our mission of getting to spend 4 days with each other after being so remote?
Yeah, I think one of the things, it's obvious, right? We're a company growing, we're going to have some fun, right? And I think a lot of companies will get very caught up in just the work. And we're definitely a team that works, right? But bringing everybody out to Breckenridge gives them a chance to get together, chat, learn about one another, but also get in the same room and talk websites, marketing, SEO, all things considered. I think another thing is we talk about remote work. I am definitely a remote first agency. I love the remote work style, especially how we do it, because I think it works. It gives us massive competitive advantages against other businesses. But even if we do this on an annual basis, on a quarterly basis, on a semi-annual basis, I think it's cool to get everybody together because, to be honest, we've worked while we've been out here, but like you and I were just chatting, right? You were in a hot tub last night late. This morning we woke up and we were just chatting and chilling, right? So I think it also gives us an idea that like we're also just connecting as is. And I think the cool thing that I noticed, and I think a lot of people here notice as well, we got here, everybody knows one another. It wasn't awkward, it wasn't weird. Like we just got to chat and get a little bit of like together time as a team. So I think all that to be considered, right? We're a remote first agency, but that doesn't mean in person isn't valuable to an extent in some way, shape, or form. But it's also fun, and business has to be fun to an extent as well if you want to keep it going.
Yeah, and we've only been out here for a short amount of time. Like, we're on our second day out here, and we've already talked about, like, all right, when are we booking the next one? We're clearly going to do this more than one time. Like, it's become so valuable, and even to the selfish aspect of, we're doing it to meet each other and to get to have a kick-ass vacation, right? We're selfishly doing that for us, but at the end of the day, we're also taking this time and opportunity to, one, escape the office, put us in a new environment, but we're doing something that I don't see a whole lot of other agencies do that I think is really interesting. And that's us going, you know what, unselfishly screw our clients for 4 days. We're going to go take this vacation. We're going to work, and we're doing it so that we can actually focus on the things that a lot of other agencies don't actually focus on, right? We're going to step away from our clients because in order to give them the best possible service, we need to give full attention to the ways that we give them service, whether it's improve our service offerings, it's the customer experience as a whole, it's our internal operations to make sure that we all have a good energy going into a client meeting or a project, right? And so we get to come out here and we get to do this thing for 4 days that just goes, okay, we're putting our clients aside, but realistically what we're doing is we're stepping into a space that after 4 days, it's 3 months worth of progress in order to better our company, and we're exponentially growing that process to make sure that we're the best performing that we can be.
We do this not in person. We do this plenty of times over Zoom. We call them autopsies, where we're sitting there reviewing projects or things like that. It's cool to do it in person, but I think the moral of the story there is that we're actually selfishly taking time to work on the business instead of in the business. A lot of agencies will get caught up, and a lot of companies will get caught up working in the business. And everyone says it, and you'll see people on Instagram, like the gurus talk about, you can't work in your business. You have to fulfill things, but working on your business is important. That if you have the systems and you have a team, and we did a lot of our work early in the week. So once we got out here, there were no calls, there were no meetings. We purposely scheduled around that because we knew it in advance. It gives us 2 or 3 hours to be in the same room. It works virtually, it works in person, but at the same time, we're just getting a chance to work on the business. Mm-hmm. I think Pneuma is really exciting moving forward, but Pneuma is really exciting for our clients as well. they may get sick of it, but we're constantly trying to improve our product offering. We're listening to clients. If they have feedback or ideas, right? They are as much of our ops team as we are our ops team, right? We're throwing systems and they're giving us feedback as well. These sessions, whether in person or not, are a chance that we actually get to break that down, work on the business, and everybody gets a say into where we go next.
Yeah, and I think one of the really powerful things about that is usually like we do our business autopsies, right? But being remote, we're trying to be efficient. We do them, like you and me will do them, the sales teams will do them, the PMs will do them, but very rarely will a PM do an autopsy with the lead of SEO. Really, right? Yeah. So like very rarely do you cross those paths and us getting to be all in the same place where it's like we're openly expressing anything in a room full of other people where you normally wouldn't think that somebody would have the input. They now get to chime in and go, you know what, actually, I do see that problem as well, and I have an idea to fix that. And we get to go that route and actually improve. It's like, it's such an authentic way to go forward where we're so, usually, you know, we're so departmentalized where we get to take these 4 days, really break apart the business, and it just becomes a good thing. I mean, I think the other thing you touched on, our adaptability, right? That's like one of our greatest strengths is our ability to, we use our clients and we're changing things all the time, which can be annoying, but it's just like one of those things that, one, we're incredibly good at, and it can be annoying, but we just take the opportunity to be like, okay, we're in this place, we can be somewhere else. We're going to take that opportunity to improve our business. And now we've secluded 4 days to specifically only doing that.
Yeah. Well, even right tomorrow, we're already chatting. We're going on a hike. We're going to do other stuff. We're going to dinner tonight, and then we're out Saturday. But even like the hike, it'll be fun just because a couple of these guys haven't been to Colorado. Like it's a completely new thing. And I think that is the beauty of business, right? It's a vehicle to do cool stuff. I think people get caught up in the work and like you see companies on Wall Street and it's all the financials and you're looking at spreadsheets all day, but business is really just a vehicle to get something out of life, get something different out of life. And I think for us, right, we're just using it to enjoy the time that we have together, which is valuable. And I think a lot of businesses are
curious for you, right? We're doing this as a remote team. We get to come here. We get to all be in the exact same room together. And that to us is valuable because we don't usually get to do that. But what we're actually doing, and more on the point of like separating, stepping away from our clients and working on the business, from your perspective, even companies that are in person and seeing each other in the office all day long, how is something like what we're doing right now essential to every single business owner?
Yeah, I mean, even if you are in office, I think a lot of companies don't do this style. We called it like Pneuma Summit, right?
Yeah.
They don't actually sit down and talk about their business. They get too caught up in working in the business, which is why I think right outside of this Pneuma Summit, we'll still do stuff like this online whenever, but I think it's crucial because very rarely, even if you are the founder or you are an individual contributor or someone in the middle, you don't really take a chance to step outside of your role and take, 30,000 foot view of your role in light of the full business. Typically, people are just showing up. They get so caught up in, hey, this is on my to-do list. This is on my task list. This has to get done. Mm-hmm. I think it's valuable to take a step back and actually see how that impacts the full business. A lot of people just get caught up into doing stuff because they were told to do it once and they never stopped. And I think this is a really good opportunity for us to, one, figure out, hey, do we need to be doing the same thing just because we can actually sit and talk about it? But, right, you can either do client work or your own business work. And I think it's really valuable, especially for us, or even if you're in office, take time with your team to actually do work on your business, figure out your problems, let your full team voice their opinions and thoughts. Because one thing with us, right, all of us come from different backgrounds. We all come to Pneuma now. We all have different ideas. We have good ideas about what we could do differently. Every voice needs to be heard in that conversation. I think a lot of businesses could benefit from that being in the office. They could even do it more often if they wanted and get the most benefit out of it.
Yeah, for sure. And I really like that perspective we took this morning too, right? Where we're all sitting here, same space. We're going to open up those conversations. Us as Pneuma, we're running a great business. Yeah. We're admittedly performing very well over the last 12 months, but also we're going to take the opportunity to go, okay, make us look like a terrible business. Yeah, make it look like a terrible business so we can fix.
I told all the guys, Pneuma's a great business. We're in a good spot. Don't let that fool you. But like the goal of tomorrow, especially, let's rip apart the business from top to bottom, and let's be as picky as we can to actually fix the problems that may hardly be problems, but because they came up, we're going to try and find a way to fix them. And I think being that crucial and critical with your business is also important as well.
So you want a sign on your forehead that says, how can I serve this service better? And you want a whiteboard on your chest that people can fill out.
Oh, for sure. Set me right. We're looking at Main Street in Breckenridge. And then everybody's
how can you perform better? But yeah, I think that's awesome. We've covered a lot. It's super exciting that we get to be out here and do this with the team. Would love to do this more often. But yeah, man, I'm just pumped that we're out here and we get to do this. Like we were doing interviews earlier today, and just doing a full content day, interviewing some of yeah, but interviewing the employees about Pneuma themselves, how they feel about the company, and there's points in just like listening to some responses that you can tell were really heartfelt and authentic, where like it almost brings a tear to your eye. Like, we're so lucky to get to work at a company that our employees care so much about showing up, working here, really enjoying the people they get to work with, and of course we create a great product at the end. But one, that's a great thing, and then to get to share it in a place like this and just hang out and meet the fellas is unbelievable. Yeah, it's super awesome.
I think that's it, right? That is Pneuma Summit. Even if you're a business out there, right? We talk a lot about websites. Do this with your team, one way, shape, or form. As a founder, right? I think it's super beneficial, and I've loved it. We'll do it more, but
you don't have to do a Breck Mansion trip, but
I think
you should get out.
Mansion every time. Maybe bail next time. But with that, thanks for listening to this kind of one-off episode of How to Build a Website. With that, until next time.